Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good, I wouldn't say morning,
Afternoon.
Afternoon now. I'm so sorry, but I have to make you to wait for a while to listen to this, because this is very important, because we need all the support from the stakeholders for us to bring this up to the international level. Okay, after listening to what Prof. Mokhtar has, talk about the roles and contributions of Sungai Batu in the world civilization context, I think it is pertinent, next please, for us to actually bring forward what is here in Sungai Batu to the international arena. Okay. Under next please, under the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage 1972, Malaysia has ratified it in 1988. Being one of the members of the state parties, Malaysia became a member of the World Heritage Committee for the first time in 2011 till 2015, a 6-year term. Okay, and one of our main tasks was to actually evaluate and identify what is relevant and important to be inscribed. Nominations come to us and we will evaluate it. So now we have ended our term, and of course, being the Department of National Heritage is the focal point representing Malaysia as the one of the state parties in the convention. Okay. In order for us to put up our nomination, usually what UNESCO would consider is actually the inscription sites or natural and cultural heritage properties which are considered of outstanding universal value. Thereon I will say OUV, okay? I think most of our speakers here also are actually members of the evaluation mission, and they are also the experts in terms of evaluating sites that are very significant in filling the gaps on the World Heritage List. When I say OUV, it means that one must actually meet the conditions of integrity and authenticity of a site, and which I think Sungai Batu is definitely has that significance. And of course, the criteria, next please. Next please. The criteria for the assessment, based on these 10 criteria, which are at least one of the criteria must be met. Okay, so you can see that, next please, that the category are actually into two, cultural and natural, but there are also sites that are being inscribed for both the mixed, the cultural as well as the natural. For example, we have Lenggong. Lenggong is cultural, but Melaka and Georgetown is actually under the cultural category. Next, please. Okay, just like other World Heritage sites, our most important role is to ensure that every site has a proper management plan to control and supervise, to actually ensure continued maintenance and protection of the site. And the benefits of World Heritage listing that can be broadly named. First, in terms of the site protected, thus much less likely to lose their authenticity and integrity over time. And to be inscribed means to be known, to have identity, and to be a source of national pride. And I hope this also can be portrayed in Sungai Batu. The third is, of course, in terms of research. This will encourage more research to be carried out in our site, not only Sungai Batu but other parts of Malaysia, which definitely has significant cultural values that can be brought up to the international level. And UNESCO provides technical advice and professional training, and at certain places, to certain degree, to provide emergency assistance. For example, in areas where heritage sites are endangered. As you know, there are sites like Sana'a in Yemen, for example. They are now not safe. we would call that as World Heritage in danger. So before it going to be de-gazetted, so something or some actions need to be done in order to secure and protect the site. Next, please. And these are the 4 World Heritage Sites that we have in Malaysia. I think most of you know, maybe our members and friends from overseas knows too, that so far we have in 2000 for Sabah, we have in Sarawak, we have Gunung Mulu National Park that was inscribed in 2000, as well as Kinabalu Park. And we have under culture, that is under the natural category. And under the cultural category, which Melaka and Georgetown was inscribed in 2008, and the not so recent though, it is in archaeological heritage of Lenggong Valley, the one that Prof. Mokhtar was saying, that we found the 1.38 million meteorite that fell in Bukit Gunung of Lenggong Valley. Yeah, and that was in 2012, being inscribed at the World Heritage Committee meeting. Next, please. And of course, we are working on some more sites in Malaysia to be nominated to the World Heritage List. That includes, of course, our very site, yeah, the archaeological heritage of Sungai Batu. Other sites include also Sipadan in Sabah. Yeah, Dato Zainah is here. Yeah, okay. And also Danam Valley, of course. And then we have also, you know, Ibrahim, yeah, Forest Research Institute Malaysia. Is also in the nomination, and they are very actively working towards, you know, getting this documentation and dossier prepared. And also, if you know, also Permatang Kuaza in Selangor, because we have quartz so-called Kuaza range, yeah, in Selangor. And there are a few other sites as well, including Royal Belum and a few others. Okay, next please. And these are the declaration of World Heritage Site that will be issued by UNESCO once the site is being inscribed. Okay, next please. So, just to show you, to just inform you in terms of the process that is needed in nominating the sites or properties to the World Heritage. Nominations to the World Heritage List are not considered unless the nominated property has already been inscribed on the state party's tentative list. You know, it will have to be there for at least 1 year. This is due because usually tentative list will be used as a planning and also evaluation tool. Because once it is there, it's like kalau Melayu kata kita cop lah, a place untuk kita angkat lah sebagai World Heritage Site. And of course that will be give some time for the state parties to prepare your dossier, which will take some time. Yeah, just for your information, like Melaka and Georgetown, we took about 8 years to actually inscribe it, because as I said, the documentation is very important. So while we have Sungai Batu and this conference, I think this will be the main catalyst and will be as a stepping stone for us to get all the documentation together, because part of it will be also in terms of getting the comparison to other sites in the world. Okay, then it will come this stage whereby the mission by e-commerce or IUCN, because e-commerce will evaluate on the cultural category, while IUCN will evaluate on the natural category. Most of you knows, yeah, what is e-commerce and what IUCN? Anybody wants to know? I think it's, yeah. Okay, just for your information, IUCN is the International Union for Conservation of Nature, while e-commerce is the International Council on Monuments and Sites. Okay, there is also another body we call ICROM that helps into training of the conservationists, as well as other expertise that will need some training into it. Okay, So the final decision and evaluation will be done by World Heritage Committee. So one site can be inscribed, if it's met all the criteria of authenticity, integrity, as well as OUB. But it can also not inscribe the site, second category. Or the third can be the site will be referred, you will be called upon to put in more information, or deferred, the fourth category, which may need some more information and you may need some more research in order to complete the dossier and proposal. Okay, next please. Well, the evaluation by the mission or the advisory bodies and evaluation bodies are to look into, as I said, the OUB and the authenticity and integrity of the site, which actually, and the site must have an adequate protection and which sustained on a management system to ensure the safeguarding of the site. And all of this will be based and as specified within the operational guidelines, which the World Heritage Center will issue. Okay, I think the rest is also important, which is we have to look into one site. Once it's inscribed, it will be the tourism product of the country, which will also affect in terms of giving impact to the area. So that is why the legal protection is very important, where you put in your conservation management plan in order to protect and safeguard the area. Next please. So these are the chronological process that will take about the minimum 18 months after the submission of a full, complete document. I say here full, okay? So meaning to say, if it's full and complete, then there won't be any problems in terms of getting it inscribed. But all nominations must arrive at UNESCO office before 1st of February every year. It means to say, if you pass the 1st of February, then you will have to go to the next year and cycle of evaluation. Okay. So next, please. So inscription is just the beginning. Mind you, we have to protect the site, and the site we need all the cooperation by the site managers, local authorities, state parties, which is the federal agencies, and all the communities involved towards managing, monitoring, as well as preserve the World Heritage Site. Okay. So this next please. The reporting and monitoring is very important because it will give the so-called provide assessment as well as updated information about the site and how we can actually work, at the regional cooperation and exchange of information among the state parties. Next, please. So coming to this archaeological heritage site of Sungai Batu. Okay, next, please. As Prof. Mokhtar has mentioned just now, the archaeological research done as earlier as 1840, by James Lowe, and then the Jane Allen, Portrait Wales, and so on, has proven that the site has actually substantial significant value, as the 2008 findings has actually discovered large number of mounds of Sungai Batu, and important findings, among others, ancient structures and iron smelting site. Okay, next please. So we propose the OUB of the site is such, but of course, once we really put together all the information, we may have to look again on the proposed OUB of Sungai Batu. Next, please. So these are just the comparison that I've gathered from some of the papers, and you see where Sungai Batu really, lies. Okay. Next, please. And in terms of the Southeast Asia, as what Prof. Mokhtar has mentioned, so it not only way back 110 AD, but as earlier as 535 before Christ. Okay. So these are just to show you the roles of the Department of National Heritage, whereby we represent the country, and we need to prepare the dossier with the involvement of all the stakeholders. So So when I say all the stakeholders, means all people who are involved here, the community, the state parties, the state authority, the local authority, the NGOs, private organization, individual researchers, all. So this will be also part of the whole involvement. This is the beginning, I would say. So more involvement will be needed for us during the preparation, especially the preparation of this conservation management plan. And like Lenggong, like Melaka and Georgetown, what we did was using the SAP or the Special Area Plan, which is gazetted under the Town and Country Planning Act, to be the CMP, because both ways under the National Heritage Act 2005 or Act 645, as well as under the Town and Country Planning Act 1976. So it will both help to actually secure the site and to protect it and safeguard it for future generation. And for that, our department will have to come up with guidelines, in terms of what can and cannot be done to the area, what can be built and what cannot, and what can actually help researchers to go on and finding new information and findings that will help to enrich the status of the site. Yeah. So of course, the rest are site protection, enforcement of CMP, continuous monitoring, and so on. Thank you. Next, please. So we are facing issues and challenges. As I said, many sites, especially Malaysia, is a new country. We have development pressure, and of course, they are based on new projects and also, sad to say, on tourism activities. But actually, these all can be done under the conservation management plan that will guide you on how to develop a site that has been nominated as the World Heritage Site. Yeah. And of course, as I said earlier, the stakeholders' involvement is very important, because we found out some may think that with as it is a World Heritage Site, you cannot touch, you cannot build, you cannot, do any development. The thing is, we have to actually implement development projects if it's help to give facilities to the area. For example, in Sungai Batu, we have the plans to actually develop part of the area which is not so significant in terms of the research, of archaeological research, but we will do or carry out, implement projects which are actually meant to facilitate the visitors in terms of auditorium, galleries and other facilities that will help the visitors to easily come to the area. Okay, next please. So these are just the way forward that we have to carry out in terms of getting all the documents together in order for us to actually put forward to UNESCO later on. And of course, these are also part of the involvement as well as awareness program. And we have lots of exhibition here, just around here itself, and of course on the site, ongoing now. Last but not least, next. So nomination needs to be understood and executed in a collaborative manner, meaning to say all parties are needed in terms of giving commitment. I think this is what we are trying to get, and I think state has really helped us, and of course USM in that matter. And once listed, maintenance and continuous monitoring should be done in ensuring the status as a World Heritage Site remains. And I'm very sure we have that very potential in Sungai Batu. And with that, I thank you.